This episode of Fuel the Fire TV podcast is brought to you in part by Kickaboo Meat Seasoning. Go to kickabooshops.com and enter the promo code FTFTV for 10% off all products and seasonings.
All right, we're here at the Fuel the Fire TV studios, and I'm with Rick Wesley from one half, I guess, of the Wesley Bow Guide Team up in Hearst, Ontario. So welcome to Fuel the Fire Studios. How are things?
Things are good. The drive down was nice, and it's like coming home every time you come to the island.
Yeah.
My mom's from Manitoulin, Wikwamaco.
Yeah.
So every time I come down past Little Kern, it's like, you're coming back home?
Where your roots are.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
As myself, I was more connected with my mom's side of the family.
Yeah. Now she was a Trudeau from
Wiki. Yeah.
From Wiki.
Yeah. I think they call themselves the Shekan clan.
Now, how did you guys end up in, way the heck up north in your Hearst?
My dad was from up north. I guess mom and dad hooked up in Toronto back in the days when all the natives used to go picking fruit and stuff.
Yep.
And she went with him back home. My dad's from the Hearst area. He's OG Cree First Nation from there.
Yeah.
And mom just went with him. Decided to go there and couldn't marry anybody on the island because you're cousins to everybody.
No, they went back to Oba.
Yeah, we went there. My dad worked for the railway. Oba is it's a small railway town.
Yeah.
I guess back then would have been maybe max 100 people. They had a logging operation. They had two railways there, Canadian National and the Algoma Central. And a bunch of us little kids running around. It was so remote. I remember we had motorbikes when we were kids. We were flying around.
Like those little trail bosses
trail
or the
boss,
big
90s
fat tires.
to 90s to 100s. We're flying around, me and my brother, my sister, and there's a couple of neighborhood kids, the McLeods. We all had little bikes flying around town. Nobody's got helmets on or nothing, right? We're having a great time. All of a sudden, there's this black and white, it was a black truck, black and white. And there's this officer standing there. We don't even know, we were so remote, we didn't even know what police officers were. And he's trying to stop us. He's waving at us. And so all his kids we're racing by him, right? We're like laughing, like, you're not going to catch us. You're not going to catch us. Finally, he stands in the middle of the road and he stops us. He's there, what are you kids doing? Well, we're riding around. We're playing. We're having fun. What's your dad's name? Dad? What's your mom's name? Mom. Like, even the neighbor kids were the same thing, like mom and dad, right? We didn't know their real names. So anyways, the end of the day, my dad comes home from work and him and my mom are talking. And he's there, did the police talk to you guys today? I said, yeah, they talked to us about, I don't know, this thing called helmets. And we should be riding around on the trails instead of the roads. So the next morning, Dad comes home. He's late for work. He comes back up there, the store open. And he's got these silly ass helmets. They're like Martian ones with the stripes down the middle. And we're like, we have to wear these, Dad? He's like, just while the cops here. After that, you guys can do whatever you want. Yeah.
We had those silver helmets. They were sparkly with these two big red maple leaves on the side. I know exactly which ones you're talking about, those striped ones. Man. That's awesome. Now, Oba, I was able to fish Lake Oba because I went to Duberville and we did a nice fishing trip up there. And great walleye, great fishery, but is that close to where you guys are?
From Oba Lake, from Oba would be probably 30 miles straight line. The river system would be around the same, but you can't really access by boat from Oba Lake to the town of Oba.
Okay.
You got Akron Falls there. I think there's another set of falls.
Right.
So it's not really boat travelable. I think canoers do it and stuff.
No, good fishing though, still on that.
Yeah, there's still good fishing. I think primarily with anything in Northern Ontario now, it's getting slimmer and slimmer. You have to go further and further to get prime fishing.
Yeah.
You go anywhere where there's road access, unfortunately, all people tend to fish it out.
Yeah.
Because it's there, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, instead of coming with you and your friend,
yeah,
it's you and your friend and 3 kids because unfortunately people can take 4 fish home.
Yeah.
So you go anywhere for $140 of gas to bring home 4 little walleye.
Yeah.
It's really not worth it. You got to be a true sportsman to go out and fish like that.
Yeah.
So then you get the groups of people that come in and everybody's the same. Like, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. They come in to bring the neighbor's kid and the other kids just to bring home 4 more fish, right?
Right.
So it's getting slimmer and slimmer, but there's still prime fishing there.
Now, is there any stocking programs to try and combat, any of that?
I don't think for the walleye are still pretty strong. They got the big lakes, right? They kind of stock themselves, but they do have a stocking program for your lake trout, because they're not native to the lakes up there.
Yeah.
So they stock lake trout.
They do stock lake trout there.
Yeah, we have, I guess to the west of Hearst, they have, I'd say, a good 5 to 10 lakes that are stocked with lake trout.
And Hearst, for those of you out there that are listening that don't know where Hearst is, if you take Manitoulin Island, which is basically the center of the universe, and then you go 9 hours north, right? Yeah. You'll bump into Hearst, which is on
remote.
Highway 11. Yeah, it's way up there. I didn't know that. Rick and Lawrence, they invited me up for a bear hunt. This was actually just last week, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's about 7 hours to get here." And I'm like 3 or 4 hours away still, and I was like, man, I was 7 hours into the drive. It's a long ass haul.
It's a long ways. Like, we used to live down in Central Ontario, like the GTA, Aurelia, Toronto, and we still have friends down there. We call them up now with social media, right? You're talking all the time, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna come and see you guys next weekend." And it's like, you might want to punch up Google Maps first, because it's a day trip.
At least, yeah. And from down south, you're at another 5 hours on there.
Oh, big time. Yeah. And the other thing people don't realize, I like to say idiots, but people that have been accustomed to pounding the asphalt in the cities, I tell them, if you're going to come up in bug season, you have to be prepared, because they'll drive you insane. The bugs are so bad. Like, yeah. But as Northerners, I don't know if anybody ever really gets used to it.
No.
We just learn how to adapt and tolerate, because they'll drive you nuts.
Yeah. No, and it's bear hunting too, right? So now we lucked out. We'll talk about our bear hunt. I'm excited to talk about our bear hunt, but there's a ton of things I want to talk about first. But we did luck out last week because of the late thaw. It's been cold, and you guys didn't have the bugs.
No, the bugs, it was great. You could have hunted in a t-shirt.
T-shirt and no bugs. That's unheard of, right, for bear season.
It's phenomenal. Like, my daughter comes up fishing about a week before you, and I always tell her, bring your bug dope. You have to bring the bug repellent. Yeah. And she come up, she says, "There's no bugs this year, Dad. What's going on?" I said, "Well, it's freezing."
It's freezing. Yeah. We did a couple, that one hunt that Tammy and I did on the second day. Like, we got out and I was just shaking like a res dog. Like I was. It was cold. Yeah.
I was sitting out there. I'm looking at Ryan. I was hunting with Ryan that night. And I keep peeking at him. And he notices. So he looks at me, right? And I'm like, I'm waiting for him to admit that he's getting cold, because my back was CCing up so bad. I'm like, I don't even know if I can operate the camera, right? And then he's looking at me. Finally, about an hour later, I'm like, "Dude, you cold?" "Yeah, man. Let's go do a spot and stock." I'm like, okay, any excuse to get out of here. Right? But it was a great bear hunt. I think we got the bears just in the nick of time, because they're on the borderline. I find the boars, after their digestive system wakes up, they do a week of grazing. Yeah. And then them boars are on the look for mates. And they, from what I've read and researched, they go on the hunt for protein, right? Moose calves and other meat sources. Yeah. So I think we were lucky there to have them hold that long, those big guys. Yeah. It was funny, because I remember that Scar guy that was on the video. Yeah. We were waiting for him to come back to Hillstand. On the way out of the last day, Larry and them checked the pit stand that was about maybe 5 miles away.
The open, like the one on the ground?
Yeah. Yep. And Scar was there at 5 in the evening. He was there for 45 minutes eating.
Really?
Yeah.
So he probably got bumped, because we did see that big scar on his back on the trail cam, right? And it looked like a fresh scar. And it's probably because Thor was kicking his ass in there, or pushed him off that bait.
It was like bloody, the scar on his back. Yeah. I think they finally had a big battle, and he lost. Yeah. And they, like I said, they're big animals. They don't just play around.
Yeah. there were some big animals on those trail cams. And the biggest was probably a 4. Man, like when you look at him in the barrel, you can't even see the barrel for his neck. So that's got to be a 400-pound bear, or close to it.
Big time. I think next year we got to try to put the trail cam on the other side of the barrel, so we can see the front chest. Yeah. Because most of the time we're getting his back when they're trying to get the food, right? Yeah. But that bear's got to be huge.
Yeah, and in the fall he'll just be maybe a 500-pound black bear.
Blueberries and everything else. Imagine that.
Yeah. No, that's a big monster bear.
So it's like we're just getting fresh to. We're trying to establish a bear hunt camp to invite guests coming in. So we're managing our bears. Next year we might hunt on the other side of the river.
Okay.
Leave those bears alone.
Yeah.
And year after year we'll change the areas, right?
Just move it around a little bit. Yeah.
Mind you, those big bears, they have big territories, so they'll still be coming across.
And they're there for a long time, because Mila's bear that was harvested the year before, you guys got it aged.
At 14 years old, it come back.
14.
I was shocked. And I looked at that. It was an M&R document. The bear aged at 14 years old. I looked at my brother Lawrence, and I was like, man, that's a freaking old grandpa bear.
Yeah.
And you look at the video of that, the hair, he's got ridges. If you notice on the side of his head and his neck, he's got like hair ridges. That's how old he is.
Right.
You don't really see that.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, in the fall they're starting to add on more fur, right?
Yeah.
But he looked like a really old bear.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Like, holy.
Yeah,
man, he's a big bear.
Yeah, 300 plus pounds.
And then there's the novice, amateur, first year hunter.
First time. I love that. I loved editing that video because I got to see so much footage. I mean, when we're airing something, and you know this too, that we might have 4 hours of video to try and put together, a 6-minute segment for a show, right? So we're scrolling through all of that for milliseconds, so we get to see every single reaction of the hunter in edit, right? And in slow motion, and it was awesome to watch a first time hunter harvest a bear like that.
We're so used to hunting. We've been hunting since we were kids, probably like you. Everything's second nature to us out there. Like, we hear them coming from a long way. We hear them circle around the windy on the back. And people, most of the time you could smell them coming around. So you're sitting there watching that, and then I'm looking at Mila, and she's got her eyes closed. She's not moving. I'm like,
she actually does that. She actually does this. She's like, if I close my eyes, maybe he won't see me.
And then Tammy's there. Well, Larry was teaching her that you can't move, you can't blink. I'm like, well, you gotta blink. Your eyes will dry up, right? But it was just awesome seeing that, because when we were kids, we were probably doing that when we were 8.
Yeah.
And you couldn't move. Like, the old man would just look at you.
Yeah. If you're moose hunting. Yeah. I get shit all the time from Diane too, because when you got those two people, and deer are like the same thing, right? So, and sometimes you got a cough, or you like whatever, the blind, rips, or the stand creaks or whatever, right? And she's like, stop shushing me, because you're almost like, shh. Or I give her one of those looks like, really? You're gonna what?
Yeah,
right?
You're gonna
she's
me?
She's like, just shut up, right? Mind your own business.
When I first came down to Manitoulin to do a deer hunt with my cousin Ron, 10 years ago. I've never hunted deer. Like, I've seen them walk and watch hunting shows. So he's coaching me a bit. He's there. If you're up in the deer blind, he says, you see the does come out. The bucks will always come after the does. Okay, makes sense. He's there. You notice him there. He's there. You can't even blink, eh? If you blink your eyes, if that buck's watching you, he's gone.
Gone. And he's probably watching you way before you see him.
Yeah, I was a novice at it, so I didn't really know. So I'm sitting in the ground blind. He set me up, and I know all of a sudden there's the doe standing there. And I got like a sinus cold going on. So this doe sits there. She walks across, and so I'm thinking, okay, I got like a 10-second gap here. I do one of the old to clear out my snot. I go out the window. I look over. There's this great big buck looking at me, and he does a big snort wheeze, and he's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
son of a bitch.
I'm not telling my cousin Rod about this story, right?
Yeah.
But
I actually had a guy that did the same thing. And from Cash, Robert Stephen was his name. He passed on now, but I brought him back to do his first deer hunt. This actually is how Fuel the Fire got started, because it was the first hunt we recorded.
Cool.
And so he's like, I put him up in the stand. It's 6:00 in the morning. He's like, what tips? Because being the Northern Cree, when we walked in, there's deer tracks everywhere. So he just wanted to hunt all of those tracks. He's like, we should follow this track. We should follow. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that here. Yeah. He's like, oh, these are fresh. I'm like, yeah, but they're always here. Get in the stand. He's like, okay, what do I do? I said, just let him come to you. Don't move, right? Just don't move. So what he ended up doing, he ended up shooting a great big buck first morning, a nice 8-pointer. And I said, so how did it come in? He said, he just kept coming in, and I just stayed perfectly still until it got to 10 yards.
Holy
He just waited till it came right to him. It's just
Point blank. Okay.
boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah.
And then again, there's that thing of first-time novice hunter.
Yeah.
And but saying that, like Mila now, she was a little disappointed because we had the weekend and she didn't get a bear come
Right.
close.
Yeah.
I looked at her and said, Mila, I'm gonna just say one thing. It's almost like a jinx or catch-22 if you get a champion
Monster.
animal, because every year you try to match that.
You got your sights set on something.
Yeah.
Diane, same thing. Diane's first moose was a 59-inch bull, and I actually said, like, while we were looking at it in the camera and in the binos, I actually had the rifle, and she's like, "Give me the gun," and I'm like, "I don't think you should shoot this bull." She's like, "What? Give me the gun." I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty big for your first bull, right?"
Yeah.
And she was pissed, like, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, here, don't miss."
That's funny, man.
Yeah, because you set your, you know, then you have that high expectation, but that's good too. I mean, it teaches you a lot, and you have to learn that.
Yeah, and then you get the humility part too, where you're back again the next season, and you get a smaller animal come in.
Yep.
And we all know that the younger animals, the meat is better.
Better anyway.
So it's good learning, and the second go around or third go around that you can't take a young animal.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, because it's about the harvest, and it's about absolutely.
It should be most about the harvesting and getting your freezer full, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong when the big champ comes in.
No, and you know, I had the opportunity. These guys set me up perfectly last week, and last week was one of the best harvest weeks, if I can say that I've had in a long time, because I was able to self video a couple of turkeys, which was great, and then within a day get put on a big bear by you guys.
Well, yeah, you got out of the truck.
Got out of the truck. There was a bear at the site when we got there.
I kind of figured when we walked in there, the raven jumped off the ground.
Yep.
And like, what's he doing on the ground?
Yep.
There? And then ravens they're wary, right?
Yep.
They're smarter than you in the bush.
Yep.
And then the other one jumped up. I said, "There's got to be a bear."
Yeah, and then right away, boom, he just takes off.
Takes off running as well.
But I don't think that was him though.
No, I don't think so. He was a smaller bear.
Yeah.
But me as bringing you up as a guest, I'm there. Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was, if I bring Neil all the way up here, like an 8-hour jaunt by driving, and then another hour down into the bush, and if he doesn't see a bear, man, I won't be able to live with that.
Yeah, like. No, but that's the guide thing, and I think if you've ever guided and you understand that. I mean, every day, I would fish every day, and I wouldn't care if I didn't catch a fish.
Yeah.
But when people are coming up and I'm taking them out guiding for chartering for salmon, it's way different. The pressure's higher. The pressure you put on yourself,
big
right?
time, yeah.
Even if people say, "Oh, don't worry about it." I mean, because we do. The big S word creeps in every once in a while as far as skunks are concerned, and it's fishing, right? Just like hunting, and we understand that as hunters. But when we're trying to do that, man, we just feel like shit if you don't put a client, and I was a client, on an animal or on a fish,
or at least to see a few,
get a taste. Yeah.
So when we seen that first bear, I said, "Oh, right on." There's my relief is gone.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, right on. Larry's gonna be happy too, because me and my brother both do it, and then. So I let you go because on the trail cams it shows evening bears there.
Yeah.
Some of the stands were morning bears.
Yeah.
Possibly a few with evening ones. I said, well, I'll leave Neil here. It's a nice stand. It's all set up. I'll take Ryan up to the hillside because there was another evening sighting there.
Yeah.
So when we were on our bear, and unfortunately Brian didn't get his bear. He's got a little bit more practice and work to do there.
Yeah.
So he's a novice hunter, and I'm like. Ryan's my friend. We've worked together. He's learned. He didn't know anything about the bush when he met us, so we've taught him quite a bit. But always in the back of my mind, I'm replaying like my dad, like just staring at me when you miss an animal that close, and like he's giving me the old, you can't be my child. Like, what did you do wrong?
About to disown you. Yeah, he's just like, all right, this guy's not mine.
So I can feel Ryan's disappointment.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to help him out to build up his courage because he's there for another 2 days. He's got to come back and stand the next day.
Yeah.
I said, don't worry, we'll work on it. We'll look for the bear in the morning in case, you know, it was something, you know, but just the disappointment in his body language. I'm looking, I said, dude, I've been there before. We've all been there before.
It's not a matter of if you miss, it's a matter of when. And you know what? Even with the bear I shot, I missed it first.
Yeah.
Right? I was trying to made the same mistake. I didn't even learn from the turkey, right? A couple of days earlier, draw back on a self video and realize I have my reading glasses on. and when I saw that bear, it was my 7th drawback on him, right? That night. And when I did, I realized I still had my reading glasses on, and I should have let down. Mm-hmm. I should have, right? And I didn't. I could, you know what I mean? I thought he was in my sight, and I shot right over his back. Now, whether or not, I'd love it to be my glasses, but it could have been target panic. I mean, I've missed deer close to and no glasses, right? So whatever happened, I mean, we miss, right? And we don't want to miss. And you know, I even felt worse because when I actually took the next shot, I was so jolted, I was so rattled, right, from all of that drawing, from all of the emotion and trying to control my breathing and all that, you know, all of the stuff that floods in. I still made a shitty shot. Yeah. I just got lucky, right, and where I hit him,
you cut open.
You got an artery, right?
Because when we watched the footage, when I seen where you hit him, I looked at Larry and I'm like, man, he's lucky he killed that bear.
Oh, yeah.
The way you hit it, I'm like, that could have just missed everything.
You could have missed everything.
The bears are phenomenal at healing themselves. They got something in their bear fat, in their blood. They heal so fast.
Well, we found an arrow in that bear that we didn't even know there was a wound there. There was just an arrow shaft, no head, no nothing.
Recovery on that bear. Like he's healed himself. And me and Larry were doing the math and the figuring. The last time we had a hunter wound a bear, or he made a pretty good shot.
Yeah,
we looked for that bear we followed for about a mile, and no more blood trail. Yeah, and that's the only big bear that was arrowed in the last 3 years. And
so that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's a complete heal.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
And it was only just a piece, right? There was nothing, and it was it was high in the shoulder too. Yeah, right.
Because the footage on that bear, it looked like a kill shot.
Yeah,
and that's why we searched so hard for it.
Yeah.
But after I knew you were on your bear, and then Ryan missed his that first evening. I'm like, well, it's a good start. We've seen a bear at Neil's. Yeah. I didn't know if you've seen another bear or not. And we're driving back. I told Ryan, there's fresh sign, there's shit here and there. And I still feeling bad for Ryan. Yeah. Now I'm starting to tease him after all the adrenaline dump comes out. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to even be able to sleep tonight. Yeah, you know, I'll probably have a hard time. So, you're going to dream about that. Yeah. If you don't kill an animal or harvest an animal in the next 5 years, that's all you're going to do.
You're going to play it over. What did I do?
And Ryan comes from Peterborough, so he comes up on a long jaunt too.
Yeah, he can't just go back in the bush.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
To drive all the way home empty-handed and knowing that you had an animal at 20 yards.
Yeah.
And easy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say it's an easy shot, right?
Yeah.
I know what he was feeling, and then when we got back, I see you on the road. I'm like, he's out early.
Yeah.
Like, because honestly, Neil, I talked to you and met you. I don't know how hardcore you are, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I thought this guy's hardcore, man. He should be in there till evening time. Like, I thought I'd have to hear us go in and be out, right? And then I'd look on your face when I jumped up. Okay, something's up here.
Yeah.
Because it's a different look. The hunter is feeling that.
Yeah.
It's an adrenaline that's still pumping in you, even though you release most of it, right? And then I walk over and we're telling you about Ryan. He missed. And then you're like, I missed too. I'm like, okay. Let's hear this, right? Mr. Big TV hunter guy here. But I hit him on the second shot. But it's a bad shot, Rick.
I knew it right away too. I was like, and I instant regret as soon, you know what I mean? And you know what, with bear, I don't know why it is. There's always something in there, and I honestly think, and I said it right away, right? It's always a humility lesson for me. And I was so relieved when I shot that turkey that week with my bow and self-videoed that, which was an accomplishment. I really wanted to try and do that, right? Yeah. I was ecstatic, and maybe I was a little too happy.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought about that afterwards. I was, I just was like, I was just so freaking happy, right? And that was how I was feeling, but maybe I should have been a little bit more reserved. And I thought about that on my drive to Shawanaga, and I was like, but I was that excited. And then with that bear, man, when we found it, I was just like,
oh yeah,
it was more relief. It was just like,
because when you told me you made a bad shot at it, I'm like, here we go. Like again, I don't really know you that much as a hunter, so I'm like, I'm gonna be crawling around the bush for this thing.
Yeah.
And then I can see it in your face. You want to go look for it tonight.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, crawling around in the bush after a big bear is not really a good idea, but we'll go take a peek.
Yeah.
And then when you're telling me about the paint cans of blood splashed all over.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, again, I don't really know you now, so I'm like, okay, it might be a cup full of blood or a splash here and there.
Yeah.
And we got up there and I could see the blood. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's gotta be dead, right?
Yeah. Because or I pretty much figured that's not coming out of the wound, right? That's coming out of his throat.
Yeah, he's pumping out of his heart, right?
Yeah.
He's coming out big time.
Yeah.
Then when we got it, we seen that guy. We didn't really get a good look at him.
Yeah.
And you're so ecstatic. I'm like, okay, right on. I'm new to the TV thing. I'm like, cool. This is fun in itself. Like right on. And then when we went to look at the bear, I was like, man, did you ever get a giant bear?
Yeah, it was a big bear.
Because our zone, Northern Ontario zone, a bear at 200 pounds is considered like a champ bear.
Yeah.
For our zone, they sleep 6 months out of the year, right?
Yeah.
So they're only growing for like 6
Pickings are thinner up there, and it's spring, so they're losing 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It was an exciting hunt for everybody involved, even Ryan there with the TV crew and the camp, and it was such an awesome learning experience for me. He gave me a big hug and a handshake. He said, I'll be back again, try to redeem myself. I said, well, that's the name of the game. I said, but
back on the horse.
It's about harvesting, right?
Yeah.
You got to harvest your meat, respect the animal. And there's hunters that kill animals every year. I'm going to go on a limb and say some of them don't respect it.
Yeah.
And they kill animals every year.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they go on a drought. And I think that's where the respect part comes in. If you respect it, you're always going to get a chance to get at an animal to harvest it.
To present it.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it'll present itself. I agree. I think, especially the bear hunt piece there, it really took me a while to want to do that. Not to want to be outdoors or not to want to hunt, but there was always it's a reverence for bears. I do it's not the same, it's a different reverence. I try to revere all of those animals and all of the game we harvest, but the bear is I don't know what it is. It's very powerful and it's very meaningful in a different way, and so I really
a few animals where like most people that truly harvest the animal, they could use everything on it.
Yeah.
Like the bear grease is a full medicine for
and we kept like a ton of it.
It's being processed now. There's a full 5-gallon pail. So
fat.
I figure we get about a dozen jars out of it.
Yeah.
But everything involved with that, the bear is different, and especially when you skin him, he looks like a human being. He looks like a man.
Yeah.
I remember my Paul. We were kids. We were 16 years old. He gets his license. He's all happy. I got my bear tag. We're gonna get a bear. Okay, whatever, right? So we were driving out back, and he had an old Gremlin. I think it was a 79.
Gremlin.
He had biceps like this just to turn it because it was all manual steering.
Yeah, it's an awesome vehicle.
We're way back there, and we see a black bear, and he gets out, and Paul's my Caucasian friend, and he wants to be a native so bad. He's into everything. He jumps out. He takes off his boots. He's just wearing his stocking feet. He's starting to stalk this bear. Right? And I'm watching him like, why don't you just shoot from here? He's only 110 yards. Like, he's crawling. He's doing his stalk. Bang, he shoots the bear. So we're all excited. We blow him up. My mom and dad are happy for him. My mom talks to him a bit about the medicine of it. And, make sure you try to use everything. If you can't, ask somebody to come and use it or whatnot. We get to town. It was about 5 in the evening. And I said, well, skin it in the morning. It's nice and cool. So when we leave, he gets all excited. He's going to skin this bear. And his dad's a hunter too, right? So he skins this bear. They got a big clothesline post in the back. And behind there is where they're going to build a new grocery store. The old one was behind. There's about 6 shops there. So all of a sudden he calls me up around 9 and goes, my dad's so fucking pissed off, man. I said, why? He said, well, I skinned that bear. I'm so proud of myself. And I string it up by the neck and I string it up the clothesline pole. So half the town can see this. It looks like a human being.
Yeah, there's been a sacrifice somewhere.
He said, my dad came up, what the fuck are you doing? Cut that thing down, man. He said, but it was too late because half the town see it. Now they're thinking that we're sacrificing humans.
Yeah, some kind of cult going on over there.
Oh, it's funny. I laughed at it. I was like, that's awesome. You to wait till the morning, right? Yeah. But there's your novice hunter and he's so excited.
Yeah, excited. And, you know, that's important. I love seeing that. I love seeing the excitement in somebody. And I think, you know, we talked about that as well. If you lose that adrenaline rush, right? Of harvesting something like that, and you know what? I hope I never do.
Yeah, me too. When I was young, my neighbor in Oba introduced me to archery. He was shooting leisurely, and I was always interested in it. So I picked up an old bow at a garage sale, and I learned the hard way. And there was nobody else to teach me the archery. So back then, it was all brass pins. You loosen one bolt, the whole sight fell off. It started from scratch, right?
Yeah.
And over the years, I put it away for a bit. So we were rifle hunting. But at the end of my rifle hunting, there was no more challenge with a rifle.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere. 200 yard shot, bang, it's dead.
It's different.
It's totally different. When I got back into archery again, I gave away 3 of my rifles. I kept 22-250 for the wolves.
Yeah.
I kept my beaver guns, which is a 22 Magnum 17. And I kept my 30-30 because it's more of a family heirloom, right?
Yeah.
But all my other big guns, I just gave them away, and people were shocked. That rifle was worth like $1,800.
Yeah.
I said, I gave it to somebody that could use it because that's no more challenge to me, rifle.
Yeah.
And you always got like people that argue, but a rifle is dead in a minute. Or in a second, it's dead.
Yeah.
Like you bang, it's gone. I said, yeah, but if you shoot an animal at 400 yards, this is my personal opinion. What kind of hunt is that? The animal doesn't even know you're hunting it.
Yeah.
It's gone. The bullet rips in and it's done, right? But that's a different form of hunting. It works fine for some people.
Yeah.
Good for them. And like I said, we're right into archery now. And to get close in on animals, bears, moose, I haven't really deer hunted. It's such a phenomenal rush. And I tell people, I don't know how to describe it to you until you come and experience having a bull moose 8 yards away from you where his eyeballs are sticking out.
Yeah.
You could smell him, his tongue. You could hear his tongue moving around. He's trying to taste you.
Yeah.
And then when his ears go flat, you're like, okay, this is the moment where you got to either take him or you retreat because he's getting ready to jump on you.
Right.
Moose are different. After you learn moose, they're all presentation, right?
Yeah.
I'd be more scared of a cow moose than an actual big bull moose. And same as the bears, I've spot and stalk 8 yards away, up to 20 yards away. I used to hunt all my bears like that, archery, until that one guy jumped on me there.
Now, speaking of trying to be tasted, the reason that where I first heard about Rick was actually through Nano, through my post editor for the show, right? Yeah. And he, we're talking about this, and he's like, "Oh shit, you gotta, have you seen Rick's footage?" I'm like, "Who's Rick?" And he's like, "Rick Wesley, Greta's man." I'm like, "Oh no, I haven't." So he pulled it up, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Right? Like that bear attack it went viral.
Big time, man.
It went viral. You've got like over 5 million hits.
It was, and with the modern age technology we got, you can have a little camera now hanging on your shoulder, or your tip of your hat. The GoPros, I was given one, and I started fooling around with it. If I didn't have the video, Neil, I don't think anybody would believe me that their bear jumped on me.
Yeah.
And
it did, like it came right at you, and still the GoPro doesn't even do it any justice.
No, it doesn't.
Because when you stand up, it still looks, because it's fisheye.
It looks like it's about 30 yards away,
but it's not. It's like
when he come over the hill, he was probably 10 yards away. From me.
You showed me. We went right there, and I'm like, holy shit! Where you're standing, where it came out, it is right there.
Where I was hunkered down, if he kept on his path he was coming, he would have bumped into me. He would have been 2 feet away from me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's a little too close. He's a wild animal. Like even a beaver will bite
attack.
You. Yeah. So I jump up and I'm looking at him coming in. I was okay. No, I'm not gonna take this bear, and I'm gonna jump up, present myself. And of course, I don't have a high pitched voice. I got like a key of E Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I jump up and I do, hey. And when Greta watched footage, why did you grunt at him? I said, well, that was my scream. That was my yell. Like, hey, get out of here, right? And it come out. It sounded. Larry says, you sound like you grunted at him.
Yeah, it sounded like a bear. He thought it was a bear for sure.
Oh, big time. And you're dressed in, well, animals primarily see black and white.
Yeah.
So anything camel, you're all black to it, right? And springtime bears, they're fighting for territory. They're fighting for dominance in their territory. He come running 1, 2, 3 steps, and okay, he's gonna bluff charge. Yeah. They've done it before where they stop.
Yeah.
Me and Larry had a big guy, man, about a 400-pounder come at us. And he about 10 yards away, maybe 8 yards, he stops and he pounds the ground about 4 times, and we're like, oh, yeah. We're both of us are ready to. I don't, after this experience, I don't even think you'd have time to draw back anyway. Yeah. So, but that bear took off, and we're like, oh, there's a rush. Yeah. This was before video time, right? And that's how we got the adrenaline rush from spot and stop the bears. But this guy, when he come 1, 2, 3, it's funny because I tell Greta this all the time. We used to have a Rottweiler dog as a pet years ago. And Magua was a big dog. But he used to run at me like that. And I used to always associate him. That would probably be what a bear would look like. Yeah. And he'd jump on, he's your dog, right? So you'd love him up. And when that bear did the force, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm in trouble here. He's still coming, full blast.
Full blast.
And it's fast, man. And people are like, why do you do this? Why do you do that? And my best explanation, like my brother asked me and him know each other. We don't even have to ask each other in the bush. We know what's going on, what we're thinking. And he said, well, man, Rick, you might want to talk to a doctor about this. I said, yeah, maybe. But he said, but when we're talking, he said, fuck, man, how did it feel? I said, Larry, man, remember when we were kids, we were partying all the time, and we've been in a few truck accidents, car accidents. He said, yeah. When the car would go out of control and you're like, okay, we're flipping or we're rolling. Yeah. And then, boom, it's done and you're crawling out and you're like, I'm alive. Yeah. That's exactly how it was because it happened so bloody fast. Yeah. And when he come on top, in my mind, okay, I'm going to stand up to him. Yeah. Because that's just the way we were raised. And then, boom, it's like... I'm not a slouch, Neil. I've been in bar fights and stuff. Like guys have bounced back when they hit me, but when he hit me, it was like bang! I'm on the ground. Like,
you're done.
And when he fell on top, his fur's on my face, and you could smell him. Yeah. And then I roll over, and when I got a half seating position, he's already running in the bush. Yeah. I think at the moment when he was on top of me,
when he
realized I was a human, he finally smelled me. Yeah. And then talked to my dad after. He's there. Animals don't travel downwind. There's something wrong with that bear. Yeah. Because that bear was always coming downwind. Bears will go, all animals go side to side or they'll always travel upwind, right? Yeah. And then that's when he encourages, you guys got to get rid of that bear. There's something wrong with him. I'm not a biologist. I don't know, right? But scares the shit out of you, man. I'm telling you.
Like it would. I watched when
my
back
gets all tight just talking about it.
When I watched it and I laughed, and you shouldn't laugh, but that's the first thing I did when I saw you point that camera at yourself. I died laughing just because I know what you're thinking, like tabanak, holy shit.
I roll over and my elbow was burning, so I figured that he maybe bit me or scratched me because it happened so quick, right? Yeah. And it's like on fire. I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah. I got in the springtime where our camp is located before the opening weekend of May long weekend. There's nobody out there. Yeah. Unless there's for timber cruisers. So I got 30 kilometers to get to the main road where there's always railway workers and stuff traveling. And my mind was, I got to get to the main road in case I'm bleeding. Then I'm checking myself. I pick up the camera. I'm checking. I don't think I'm hurt. Yeah. I look at the camera. I'm like, holy fuck me, man. And I had interviews from CBC French and some French people come over. And I'm like, no way did I mean to insult my French brothers, man. Yeah. And the guys are, no, man, we love you. I'm like, scare me that guy. It just came out on its own, right? I'm like, I didn't. There's no rehearsing, nothing.
No, that was pure raw.
Fuck me again, and I'm looking around, and my sister-in-law laughs. She's there. Of all things, you grabbed the camera. Why didn't you grab your weapon? I said, Joe, I was in shock. Probably first aid shock for at least 40 minutes. There. Yeah. Bewildered.
For sure, that's shock. And you got tons of traffic. You had got interviews from all over the world.
Oh man, it was nuts. That would happen on my birthday, which is ironic in a few ways, but So I told Greta, I'm out there on a Wednesday. I had it on a Wednesday on my birthday. I'm going to stay at camp till Friday. We're doing the ceiling in the camp. I'll be in Friday after school to pick you and the boy up to go back to camp. So after that happened, like I'm walking around 40 minutes, I'm fucked, man. I'm looking for a cigar in the truck. I had quit smoking for like 3 months. I need to smoke. I want to smoke something, and wandering around. Then I'm like, okay, calm down, man. You're alive. You're all right. Quit being a big baby. And sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, I got one more bait to do. I got 2 full cans of grease on.
So you gotta walk into the bush.
And me and my brother are always like challenging each other, right? I'm like, there's no way I'm going back to town and telling my brother, like, hey, I couldn't bait the last one.
Yeah, I was too
There's
drunk.
no way. So there was another 10 minutes, like, well, that bear ran over there. I don't think you'll be in that other bait there. And like, calm down, man.
Yeah,
You're trying to
settle.
talk to yourself here. So I carried the bait in, bait the thing, put all the logs back. And it's the first time ever I'm walking back from a bait. I'm banging the pails together.
Whistling.
I'm laughing at myself. I got in the truck and like, what a freaking baby.
Oh, but you know what? You just got attacked by a bear like Leonardo DiCaprio Revenant style attack.
You know, near the end of my shock period, like I say full 40 minutes. That's what came to my mind. How long would I have been able to drive 30 kilometers to the main road and hopefully somebody passes?
Yeah.
Because from the main road to town is 70 kilometers. So I got like a full booking, or I got 15-minute ride down the dirt road. And then that you're being unsafe because you might meet somebody in the curves or whatever. I was thinking that if that bear got a hold of me, man, I don't think I would have survived anyway. Yeah. Unless somebody was there to help wrap me up and drive me.
If it wanted to, But you know what? 99 times, probably 999 times out of 1,000, right? That bear is taken off right away, right?
Yeah, he was gone.
You know what I mean, they don't want to be around us, right?
Yeah, most wild animals want nothing to do with humans. We kind of like stink to them, right? Because like a bear, his other predator is wolves and probably other bears. Yeah, wolves. When people tell me, "Oh, I seen a wolf this weekend. I seen a pack of 7," I'm like, "Okay, you probably seen them on the lake crossing." Yeah. No, they were on the road. They're walking around. I'll call bullshit every time. Yeah, I said the wolf has no predator. The only predator he has is a man or a woman, right? Humans. For you to tell me that you've seen a bunch of wolves walking around, you're full of shit. They want nothing to do with you. We were on 3 tramp lines. And I think I've seen 1 wolf in the last 5 years. Yeah. Mind you, like we were talking in the bush, evolution, everything's changing. Yeah. And then when people do see them, it's when they're mating in February, March, right? They're crossing lakes to look for mates and whatnot.
Or they're being hunted. It could be that, right? You know what I mean? Because if you are seeing them, it's a... You know, you said you got... And as hunters, we always know this, and harvesters, you get a mixed reaction from the public as to what happened, right? What was that like?
The public reaction, I came back. That happened on Wednesday. Worked on the scene. Thursday was a snow day. It was right off, so I just stayed in the cabin, worked on all day, watched movies nonstop. So Friday morning, I got up early, like 5 in the morning. So I had to hell with it, because looking back, I didn't realize how screwed up I was from this. There was one of the first nights I walked back with a flashlight because I got to go leave the main camp to shut the generator off. I'd walk in the dark. Yeah. And all of a sudden now I got 2 lights and I'm looking
around.
Yeah. I was like,
a little shell shock. Yeah.
So Friday I take on town early. I get to within cell range, 12 kilometers out of town. I call the wife. Gretz, wake up our son there. I'll take you guys for breakfast. And she said, what's going on? No, nothing. I love you guys. Let's go for breakfast. Oh, wait, what's really going on?
All right. What happened?
Something's up. So we go have breakfast and we're eating. My son's got to go to school. And he's there. So, Dad, anything new happened in the bush? I'm there. Yeah, bear jumped on me. Yeah, right, Dad. He gives me a big hug and I hug him and I give him a kiss right in the restaurant. And he's like freaking like, Dad, you're kissing me in a public spot here. No, dude, I love you. You have a good day, right? So he goes to school and we pay for breakfast. We go home and we get to the apartment and Greta's like, what happened? Yeah. You broke a mortar, one of the cabins burnt down, something's up.
Something is up.
I looked at her and said, Greta, bear jumped on me. She's there. It's no belief yet. There was no belief there yet. So I said, I think I got it on the GoPro because I didn't hook it up to the TV.
Didn't look. You hadn't even looked at it yet.
So I grabbed the GoPros. We go in the thing. We got the big screen TV and we plug it in. I'm sitting there trying to go through the thing and I'm like, oh, right here. And click play. And holy fuck. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. That's when I realized how lucky I am.
How lucky.
When I watched the footage,
yeah,
and I turned in the back, and Greta's crying away. She's, oh my God, Ricky, we could have lost you.
Because it does one of those, right? Like, it swats you. Like, it takes a swipe at you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm in shock. So, of course, I take a small video of it from my cell phone.
Start sending it to your
my
friends.
brother at work, and he's like, holy fuck, Rick.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Because the video doesn't lie. Like, you can't say, how'd you do that? Or,
it came close, or no.
He runs right on top of me, and then he texts me back. All the guys in the lunchroom think we're Nazis, because he showed it to everybody, right? But, nobody really knew about it. I wasn't going to share that video.
Yeah.
My partner encouraged me to share it. She said, there's too many people thinking that these bears are teddy bears. They're not wild. They're not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And she's there. Look at those videos on YouTube now. Guys are running down in the side of the roadway, and they're slapping them with their hats. And like you said,
doing
99
dumb
out of 100,
shit.
the bears are running the other way until that one bear turns around and wants to grab you. Right? I think you have to share it. All us girls are out there picking berries in the summer. And
not to scare people, to educate them.
Yeah, educate big time. That's where she encouraged me to.
But it's risky, because then people are gonna make fun of you. People are gonna tease you, right?
Honestly, I was embarrassed with that.
Yeah.
I let my guard down.
Yeah.
I should have stood up way earlier when I decided not to take that. Some people are like, well, were you scared to take the shot? I said, no. When the bear came over to Little Law, I didn't want to harvest him. In my mind, I said, no, I'm not taking him.
Yeah.
But half a second goes by, he's another step. They got 4 legs. So
they're getting closer.
There fast. It happens so quick, right? So we decided to release the video. I put it on YouTube because somebody told me upload on YouTube, then to Facebook because the video quality is better, right?
Yeah.
I was all a novice at all this video stuff. So we do that. We put it on my Facebook, and I'm always joking around, right? Some people go fishing, they make a little garden bed on holidays, or they go down Toronto and they ride a roller coaster. But this is what I do on holidays. And I put it on my Facebook wall, log out, close it. And we go back to the camp. And it was just overnight for some reason. We come back Monday morning, and I didn't even look at Facebook. We're busy, and I kind of like do the blackout when there are holidays in the spring. And then my mom comes running up. She's crying. She says, Wayne just told me about this video you put on your Facebook. The bear almost killed you. Well, he could be burying, and she's freaking out. She's crying. And anytime your mom cries, it's like, what's up, right? She comes over. She's like, Mom, it's okay. I'm all right. Like, it's been like 4 days, 5 days from now. So my dad comes up about an hour later, and he's there. We had it on the laptop. I said, Dad, here's that video that where I was telling you about. So he comes and sits down, and I play it for him. He gets up, and my dad goes outside. And
he's rattled.
Oh, he's rattled big time because he doesn't show emotions. As kids, we never got the big I love yous and all that stuff that some kids were fortunate enough to get. We got I love yous in other ways, right? And my mom says, you better go talk to your dad. So I go out, I look in the window, and he's standing out there. He's looking around the sky. And I go, Dad, you all right? Your boy's got to go get that bear. He says, there's something wrong with that bear. He says, the girls are out there all the time. The kids are out there. He says, go get rid of that bear.
Right.
Bears aren't supposed to jump on humans. He says, something's up. Go get rid of it. That was his way of telling me, I almost lost you.
Yeah.
Go, you never got dog from Dad. Like, it just didn't happen. And then, so we went out to hunt this bear. And I still think it was the one that jumped on me. Mind you, after a week of bear hunting, all the bears looked like that freaking guy, right?
Yeah.
Then we came back to town. And when I harvest that big guy, we were coming in the morning because it was getting hot. I had to bring him in the garage, butcher him up. We meet my brother, and he's affiliated with Oba Outfitters. And Oba, they're at bear hunt camp. He's flying down the road. And Dad's at the age, our family's getting older, like, oh man, somebody had a heart attack or something.
Something's up. Yeah.
He comes to a screeching Flintstone style halt in the road there. He jumps out, he pulls out a cigarette. I'm like, dude, I don't ever want a cigarette. Because I really didn't start smoking that. And he's like, where are you going? What's happening? Is Dad okay? Is Mom okay? He said, we're coming to get you, man, because everybody's fucking phone is going off the fucking wall, and Mom's pissed off. People are calling her all day. They're looking for you. People want to talk to you about this video you put on YouTube. I said, really? He said, oh, yeah, man, you'll be shocked when you get to town. So we go into town there. We get into service, and my phone at the time, it was ironic. messaging thing was, people have a train horn. Yeah. Mine was tabanak, tabanak. So when we come into service, it's on the dash of the truck, and it was like 500 tabanak, tabanak, tabanak. And Greta's like, that fucking phone of yours.
Turn it off.
And it wouldn't stop. We got to the house, and it was going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days of that, listening to phone calls. There was even a Bible group from the southern states that called me.
A Bible group.
And my dad's listening to the stuff, eh? Me and my dad are really close. And they're, what the fuck would a Bible group want to talk to me about that? And he's there, what the fuck do you think? You should praise.
Did you see the light?
Yeah. I laughed. I looked at it. Then he starts laughing. And for emotions to come from my dad, it's an awesome thing, right?
Yeah.
But Brazil, Australia, I was telling Greta.
Asia, like
oh man,
everywhere.
I told Greta, why Australia? They don't even have bears there. She said, yeah, they do. They have the koala bear. I said, that's not a fucking bear. She said, it's a bear. It's classified as a bear. Like Peru is cool. Japan, Tokyo, Japan. That was awesome. We did a Skype interview, and out of all the interviews and stuff that I did, it was the best one because they got me to act it out. They were right into it, eh? And my son's got like a fetish for Asian girls. So he's on the couch rolling around and he takes a peek and he's laughing away. He's trying to be quiet because they're doing the Skype thing. And this TV reporter said, okay, well, now you could show us how you were attacking him. I'm like, no, the bear attacked me. No, just pretend you're attacking him. Okay, now get ready. And then they'd live it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Greg like,
what the hell? What am I doing?
Oh yeah, and then they wanted to see the bear brog, so I had to dig it out of the freezer, and then they wanted to see the paws and the arrows, and
just crazy.
It was so in depth.
Yeah,
it was so cool because we're halfway across the world and we're doing this live on a Skype interview. The unfortunate part was, again, to my Asian brothers and sisters, not making fun of you, I wanted to hear me dubbed into Japanese,
like a karate movie.
Yeah.
See your mouth moving.
We were all waiting for it, my brother. When are we going to get that copy? And then the girl that did it, she said, "We're legally obligated not to let it out. You'd have to. I'd probably have to bootleg it someplace, right?" But we were waiting for that.
Oh, that's funny. Now, some people didn't like it. Right?
Oh, I did one with I think it was Kansas. It was a weather network. So she's there. We're gonna do an interview with you, a small interview, me and you, and then we're gonna patch in people live.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like this. I'm here with you. It's fine, right?
Yeah.
I could talk, but I'm an introvert. I like being alone. I don't like big crowds. I shouldn't say I don't like people, but I don't like to be involved in the big social gatherings. So I'm like, okay, we're going live. I don't know.
That's risky. Yeah.
And I got pinned a few times. The one woman says, "No, you said you harvested this bears." Yeah, I went back and I harvested it. What do you mean by it? You killed it? Well, that's what it means when you harvest it. Yes, it's a nice, polite way of saying that. Yes, I went back and I killed it. Yeah, I killed that bear. What is wrong with you? And then they start digging. They're digging about everything. Yeah. And then my natural instinct is to fight. So I'm like, well, what do you call it when you slaughter 5,000 pigs in the barn? But you're just not visualizing it. So it's basically the same thing. Yeah. And the good thing that saved both of us from battling on live on radio was the interviewee. Yeah. She just cut it right off. Oh, thank you for your call. We're done today. And she just shut off. Sorry about that, Mr. Wesley. Yeah. And I was invited to a bunch in Britain. And my friends from there, he said, you don't want to do those ones because they're anti-hunters.
There's lots of anti-hunting.
And they'll lure you in. It'll be a calm interview for 20 minutes and then they'll just
roast you. Yeah. So, now, you got... you were on Tosh 2.0. I watched that the other day. Larry sent it to me, and it's hilarious. And you gotta love, Tosh because it's
he's good at roasting and burning people.
That's what he does. That's why people love it, right?
So I'm in Hearst. I run into the bank. I got to do a couple of bank things every payday, like transfer money. And I run in there, and the girls are, I seen you on TV last night. I said, yeah, Weather Network replays it all. She said, no, man, you were on Tosh show. I'm there. What? Get out of here. She said, yeah, you were on Tosh show. I said, did he burn me bad? She said, no, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Well, that's good because Tosh show usually roasts everybody.
He can tear you apart. What about now? You said Cam Haynes called you?
He called the house, and my son Well, Corey was taking all his meds. The team,
Yeah.
it was so crazy. And then some guy named Cam Haynes called here looking for you. I'm like, Cam Haynes?
Like Cam Haynes, the Cam Haynes.
And I look at his scribbling on the paper. I'm like, no way. So I tried calling back a few times, and we finally got in there, and he congratulated me on standing up to the bear.
Yeah.
And he's another guy that was fortunate because don't listen to these
all the trolls or whatever. Yeah.
I had another good friend call me up. He said, man, I've been looking at the YouTube comments. Don't listen to that shit. And there was some bad
ones. Well, and you look at that, and you know, people are behind the screen, so they feel like they could say whatever they want. And you know, you look at lots of the bigger names in the industry, like Jim Shockey or Cam Haynes. And Cam, I do see, I follow Cam, and you know, phenomenal hunter and athlete in all respects. And he does, you know, stand up and just speak his mind and say, this is what it is, right? Yeah. Don't be a hypocrite. So that is a feather in the cap there, getting a call and talking to him.
My wife said, well, who's that? I said, it's like one of the biggest bow hunters in the world right now.
Yeah.
And he does so many things.
Yeah.
I said, granted, as a bow hunter, and like I was just starting to get into videoing stuff. Well, actually, I've been videoing a long time, but I finally got some high definition, digital
good quality stuff.
I said, you don't know what it is. It's like you going to your movie awards and you got 3 different film festivals presenting you first place. That's what that is. Getting a call from Cameron Haynes. Like,
big deal.
Wow. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
The other one that I wanted to talk about was we all have Messenger. A week later, I haven't really played with my phone because the real telephone line was going crazy. I opened up my Messenger and I got about 20 death threats in my inbox, my personal inbox.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at those are the ones that really bother me.
Right? Yeah, that would shake you a little bit.
So I'm reading them. I was with Larry and Lawrence, my brother, and I'm gonna check this out, man. If I ever met you in person, I don't care if it was in a public place, I'd kill you. The way you kill that bear and these other innocent animals, I would kill you. And I'm like reading this. I'm like, dude, I'm a nice guy. Yeah. I'm really a nice guy. Like, but I've been around. If you're gonna piss me off, I don't think you realize who you're talking to. Right? Then I'm like, I throw my phone to my brother. I fucking welcome that guy to come and fucking challenge me. You don't know who he's playing with. Yeah. And then my brother's reading. He's like, holy fuck, Rick, we got to take this to the open. Bullshit, man. Yeah. Then I'm like, dude, police are doing their civil duties, man. That's probably some idiot in a basement in Chicago looking at the computer, never set a foot on a leaf or a wild piece of grass, and there he is commenting, trolling, right? Yeah. But it affected me.
It does. I mean, it's people's opinion, and we try and, you know, separate ourselves from that. And people are entitled to their opinion, but, you know, there is a line, because that threat is not just to you, right? Chances are, if someone were to act on that threat, your family's going to be around when they get there. So it's a threat against everything that you stand for when they make those offhand comments. Like,
big time. Yeah. And then I looked at Larry and said, well, I guess it's a good thing we're so remote. Yeah. By the time they come up from the city, they'll be like, they'll be too
tired to fight. They'll be looking for, what if I get lost up here? I better call this guy.
Yeah. And I was glad I had Nano to talk to about all this monetization and the videos and stuff. And it took off from there. We sold that video to Jukin Media. They own Phil Army and stuff like that. And I was a little disappointed because when I agreed to a contract with Jukin Media, Rumble from Toronto called about a half hour later. I would have rather have dealt with a Canadian company.
Right.
But we already signed a contract, so.
Yeah.
But it's...
Live and learn a little bit there.
With the industry part of it, right? Because I didn't know anything about it. So it's been a blessing that I was alive from the bear jumping on me. Another humility teaching of respect the animal all times. And the funds that come in from our royalties, we furnished the camp with a few luxury items, right? Yeah. No more 4 coolers. Now we got a propane fridge. We're living in style here, honey.
You know what? And you are too. It is like, I didn't know. And Diane, you know, I really wanted to bring Diane, and she couldn't come. And part of her is thinking like, okay, what kind of camp? I've been to some of the camps you go to, and like, what are we getting into here? You know, is it a tent? Are we all, like, is there one sleeping bag we all got to like cover ourselves with, or what the fuck? But it ended up being like, this is a slice of heaven where you guys are.
It is. I've had non-hunting friends come for a cookout, fishing or whatever, even just come visit for the afternoon. And these people have all told me like, what a piece of heaven.
Yeah.
And you know, I work for the railway. I'm moving all the time. It's just, well, to the non-railroader, it's a stressful job, right?
Yeah.
We're handling millions of dollars of equipment, and I go to the camp. I sleep like a baby. It's like my blackout zone.
Yeah.
There's nothing to worry about there besides the bears. But now we've trimmed out the brush so you can see, and it is a piece of heaven. And I think anybody that has a piece of property out in the wilderness, our city folk don't realize it. But then again, I don't want to piss off the city folk, because there are city folk that they're stuck there working, doing the rat race. And they come out and they really, really
they appreciate it.
And
you know, and what you guys are trying to build there, as you know, Wesley Bow Guides. We've talked a lot about it, and the potential there to do what you want to do, which is expose people to the outdoors, which is right in line with what we're trying to do. I think it's why we get along so well, is that we want people to realize that the outdoors is a place that can help them get back in balance. Oh,
big time. Some of my friends, even myself, if I'm pumped up, argumentative, in a bad mood, foul mood, I tell my friends, I say, I'll come with me, and we'll go out of town, half kilometers. Come with me. And they're like, what the fuck are we doing? They're so pissed off. Their body language, everything's upset. You go that way, I'm going to go this way. I'll meet you over there, and we'll come back to the truck. I need to tell you something. So now their focus is, okay, something's up with Rick. I got to take care of Rick. We go for a 10-minute walk. Come back to the truck. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I said, that's right. You can't go for a walk in the wilderness and come back and be pissed off.
Yeah.
The trees, everything, the spirit world of the bush. There's no way. I don't think anybody could go there. They might come back and be like, well, you know, now they're back to reality. That's a waste of time. Like, I just waste a half hour walking around the bush. But while you're in there, it's tranquility. There's peace. It's
and I think when people become more self-aware and aware of how connected they actually are, with, you know, dirt beneath their feet and being surrounded by life, really, you know what I mean, when you're in the wilderness. Whether, you know, I talked to Tammy when we were in the bear stand there, and I was saying to her, it's surreal when you look out and you see all these pines and you see, you know, all of this stuff, just the wilderness just being the wilderness. And that before we got into the stand, it was just being the wilderness, and then when we leave, it's just being the wilderness. And it's doing that right now while we're sitting here. It's all just being the wilderness, and that is so powerful, right? Because it will withstand those tests of time.
Oh, big time. It was there before we were there, right? And it will still be there.
And we're just a blip on the world's radar.
So with the Wesley Bow Guides, we would like to introduce a bear hunt for a week in the spring, providing our famous government keeps up the spring bear hunt. And we might do a fall hunt. We're not sure. Probably not. We're going to stick with the spring. And we might do a week bow hunt with the moose.
Right.
But in between, going the lines of what we were just saying, we'd like to invite not huge groups, because we don't have a big camp, but 4 people to come out. Because honestly, Neil, there's some people that have not even lit a fire to cook over. They haven't skinned a fish to eat. They haven't even gone fishing. Introduce stuff like that to come out into the land and just feel the healing power of it.
Right. And, you know, and you guys do some cultural things. You guys do, your knowledge of the land base is, you know, is good. And, you know, watching you guys walk through the bush, and then you reach down and you're like, oh shit, these are ripe, right? Like have a little snack on the way. Like that kind of thing that you guys take just for granted. You know, people need to see that and experience it, and because it's a special thing. And I think when you guys, you know, decide to really commit, because you're doing it and you're thinking about it, and when you do it, I think people will just flock there.
I think there's even local town. Like my main primary concern is the youth, kids as young as 8 years old. Well, you can't take young kids because they're homesick, right? But the young kids in town, they're asphalt kids. They don't leave the cement. They don't leave the asphalt. And you bring them out there and show them stuff like that. I think I think that part of learning will tie into education learning, like in schools and institutions.
Yeah.
They need it. I think the world itself needs it.
Yeah.
We've gone so far into our multimedia, electronic devices, we've forgotten that plant outside your door, if you had to, you could eat that to survive.
Yeah.
Like, can you really eat your fucking Facebook?
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And then the other day, I was telling Greta, I'm going to make fire from scratch. I'm using a flint stick, but you can use fine flint rock, right? She looks at me, she's all happy. She says, I haven't seen you do that in years.
Yeah.
So I went out, got my grandfather beer, some birch bark. Okay, it's been a long time. Better practice this, right? Poof. Oh, man. Yeah. The feeling, the elation that you've created fire from little sparks and nothing else. There's no lighter, there's no matches, no gasoline, nothing. Bring it over and make a fire that you could survive on. You could cook on it, warmth, whatever. Even that alone, to have a youth, a 15-year-old come out and do that. Yeah. To realize that he's got the power inside himself to live, to sustain, right? It's special.
And when you see, when you do, light that fire for them, right? When that spark goes off in them, that's rewarding, right?
Big time. And that's when you introduced me, invited me to come and do some video segments, I've understood more of why you say fuel the fire.
Right.
Because when you see that drive by on Fuel the Fire, what the heck's that all about?
Right.
Then you see the video on TV and Fuel the Passion. Until I've actually interacted with you, now I know why your logo is like that.
Right.
And it's true. You see some people. You see people paddle down a calm river for 20 years, right? They paddle down a calm river. Oh, I'm a canoeist. I'm a kayaker. This is grand.
Yeah.
Until you take that person down the first set of rapids and where you're splashing and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And at the bottom, you do your famous J stroke like, oh yeah, I was in control the whole time. That person's like, wow. Yeah. That canoer that's been canoeing for 10 years on calm waters. Holy cow. Yeah. We just ignited their passion and you fueled that fire. Like, there you go. Like, holy cow, it's reignited.
Yeah.
And you see that in a lot of people. There's a lot of people, I think they were with their grandparents or dads or moms. They were introduced to hunting as kids, got involved with mainstream society, institutions, schooling, whatever. They've lost that for 20 years.
They forgot it. Yeah.
And then you reintroduce them, bring them back for a weekend. And, okay, man, we're going to make bannock in a frying pan here, or we're going to make bannock on a stick. And it's going to take a few hours, but, we'll check things out.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk while it's cooking. We'll interact.
Yeah. And then when they go back to town, like, holy cow, 20 years I've been in this.
Why did I wait? Why did I let that? And there's that's an important point, because I think it's in our DNA. Like no matter what anybody says, whether you're a carnivore, an omnivore, a vegetarian, or a whatever, it is in your blood and in our DNA to be a participant. Yeah. Right. That's how we got here, is by interacting with our environment. And so even if they haven't, right, ever been out there, when they go out, it gets awakened. Oh, right. That piece there comes alive, and it's why people want to be a part of that and participate it. And even if it is to observe it, and for the bird watchers, and that's still part of our, to be appreciative of it. Hunters are the biggest animal watchers on the planet. People think, we kill everything. I mean, that's not true. I think of how many, I saw 14 moose last year and I didn't shoot one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? And all of our fees, even as First Nation people, we don't have to buy tags in our treaty area. We don't have to, but I do, right? Because I know that if I can't contribute physically to conservation, at least a portion of that little contribution I make will sustain the fishery, will sustain the wetland, because nowhere else is contributing to that. Yeah. That's where those fees go.
I've had native brothers that, you buy a fishing license? Why? You don't have to. Yeah. And you shouldn't have to. It's the government.
Yeah. We understand that. We understand what our rights are.
I said, I'll agree with that. But I said, back home, my town is Hearst. We have a stocking program. They stock the lakes with speckled trout, leg trout, splake. I said, so when I buy my license, I don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm contributing a little bit into the stocking program.
Yeah.
That's where my focus goes, right?
Yeah.
And I enjoy going to catch splake in the winter and stuff. I said, without the stocking program, which comes from licensing fees, you'd be you wouldn't have a chance to catch lake trout.
Well, it wouldn't be there. Right?
It's there for a reason. Like, mind you, some people will say, I haven't never really been involved in the tag system. I've heard people complain about, like, I haven't got a tag in 20 years. Yeah. That would infuriate me.
It would, yeah.
And I think the government should re-look into that. Whoever's involved in that branch or whatever. Because when you infuriate somebody not getting a tag in 15 years, and his uncles and his grandfathers grew up hunting, my personal opinion here is you're going to turn that guy into going to poacher moose.
Yeah.
And poachers are rushed, they're quick, they shoot something, and all of a sudden they get scared, they're gone. The animal rots there.
Yeah.
I tell guys, if you don't get a tag, man, if I see you shooting a moose out of season or in the season,
you're hurting everybody.
I'll stop and I'll help you load it up. Yeah. Take it home and feed your family.
Yeah.
I think the government or the hunting regulators should really look into the tag.
Well, I just actually filled out, there was a moose survey, and you know how government uses data. I mean, I understand all of that bullshit about, and especially from the First Nation perspective, I get it, right? But without data, they can't make an informed choice. And so I talked about the tag, or it asks a bunch of questions about the moose tag system and how that should work. And I've applied many times to the states to get elk tags, and you know what, and the draw, and at least there's solace in it for me that if I don't get one this time, the way that their tag system is organized is that my points that I get for being unsuccessful go to increasing my odds the next year of being successful. Yeah. And I think the Ontario tag system should at least incorporate some of those better practices that increase people's chances, because right now what's happening is that people are just opting out of the moose hunt, and that hurts us economically. It hurts the system because less people are hunting, right? And it widens the divide between us as First Nation hunters and non, because it does affect it, and the ministry should figure out better ways to do it and create partnerships to afford that to happen. We get stereotyped as Native people. I've had good friends. Well, you're lucky you shoot anything you want whenever you want. I'm like, no. I got one child left. My other kids are gone. It's me and my wife primarily wild meat. I'll harvest one moose per year, and I'll probably feed my mom and dad out of that, or if my brother wants a little box of meat for his family. My son eats moose meat like crazy, but we only take one moose per year. Yeah. And I see probably 5 to 40 every year. Yeah. And the stereotype is there where you shoot all 40, you fucking kill everything. Yeah. I said, no, we don't. But there is people that do that, but First Nations people don't really do that. But it's easy. What I find weird is, and I get into heated discussions with trappers and other people that say they're bush people. They'll come out and I didn't see one moose today. The fucking wolves kill them. I'm like, it's amazing. You're a bush guy for the last 20 years, and you'll put the blame on somebody that doesn't have a voice. Yeah. The wolf can't speak back. He can't fight back, or you'll blame the black bear. Yeah. The black bear and the moose have been living together for the last. And they're just being black bears and moose. That's all they're being.
They've had their relationship before we were involved. I said, how come you're not pointing the blame at the big corporations that are clear cutting lands, replanting with non-moose vegetation? Yeah. They're changing the landscape, so the moose aren't living there anymore. Yep. I said, you're battling, or you're picking battles with people that can't speak back. Yeah. And First Nations people, unfortunately, sometimes we don't fight back, or we don't voice it, right? Yeah. We just, whatever, you've believed that for 200 years that we just want to rape the land. Yeah. Meanwhile, we've been part of the land for a lot longer, right? Yeah. Yeah. My education goal is to let people know, no, First Nation people are not just killing everything we see. Right. And part of the video aspect of it is we're releasing big fish. We're releasing the spawners. Yeah. We're letting cow moose walk by. Yeah. That's probably my biggest education goal with the videos, is doing that part.
Yeah. And that's a noble goal, and it's a hard one, right? It's hard enough to harvest an animal, and then, it's a whole nother added element to do it on video, and then to do it in a way that people want to see, right? It's just a bunch of added pressure, but I think it is a worthwhile goal. I know, we have this agreement now that we're going to try and do a little bit more of that together, which I'm I'm so excited, right? Like we were talking, prior to the podcast about, okay, so for next year, maybe we need to try and catch some fish and we need to go here. We're already planning all this other stuff, which is great because that's what the outdoors is supposed to do. It's supposed to bring us closer together. Yeah. I think what you guys are doing through Wesley Bow Guides and what you're doing now and what you want to do, you and Larry and Greta and Tammy and everybody involved, by getting more people outdoors, it's really a respectable thing, and I wish you guys all of the success. And if I can be just a little, part of that success, then it really is a privilege to have met you, to have been invited to your camp and be a part of something that is really, really special. I think you guys are spot on in your efforts. Yeah,
I believe so too, and we're gonna put our best forward effort to get it going. Like it's homework and it's a lot of footwork. We're gonna get at it. But I'm glad, Neil, you introduced yourself to me, because when you came up with the cameras and everything, I've watched your show a few times and seen you advertise. And when I seen you with the footage that first night when we got the bear, and then we're all in the living room and waiting. The next morning I was talking with Grant. I said, man, I finally met somebody that's got the same passion with the video stuff, because most of the other people, there goes Rick again. We got to wait 2 minutes for him to get a camera on. Yeah. And then my brother's like, I guess it was worth all these times waiting for you and your cameras with the bear video, right? When the bear jumped on me. Yeah. Like, that's given us royalties to, whatever.
Advance a little bit more, just, one step at a time. And
you being up with us too. Now the whole group is like, okay, well, we don't mind waiting to pull out the red box with the video cameras. Yeah. And they've got their own little cameras going. And the biggest thing is, like, I think, even with our native brothers and sisters, a lot of people don't get a chance to go into the bush. Yeah. Yeah, even with our own people right here in the res, right? And they don't. A lot of people talk, but they don't get to go into the bush. Yeah. It's so educating with our video cameras, podcasts, whatever. I hope it inspires more people to, there's times, I don't know anything about it, so I don't even want to go on that canoe trip because I don't know anything about it. Yeah. Just go.
That's how you learn. Yeah. Yeah. It's how you learn. It's by making mistakes, by, you know what I mean? And, but also being prepared and being safe. That's important. But you can teach that to kids, and you can teach that early. Yeah, right. Yeah. We know that, and I think that's an important component. The archery in the schools programs, all of these things out there. I love being a part of that because it allows us to do that type of thing. So, do you want to plug anything before we sign off here?
Well, we'll plug in Wesley Bow Guides. We're definitely going to give this a go. We're looking at spring of 2020 and possibly fall of 2020 for a 1 week moose hunt. We're not sure about that though. We'll be online.
You're working on that. Yeah. So you can check you guys out. If you haven't seen if you haven't seen the footage that we're talking about with the bear, just look up Rick Wesley on YouTube. Be
Richard Wesley on YouTube, and we do have a Wesley Bow Guides YouTube channel as well that we're adding.
You're starting to populate. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
In town of Hearst, if you ever come up to visit town Hearst, John's Family Restaurant. You can't go wrong with the food. They give you like 4 pounds of food for like $9. Oh, awesome. And John and his wife and family are awesome.
What if I just order bacon? Will they give me 4 pounds of bacon?
They give me bacon.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, we're both in a little bit of a rush here because we got to go back to Sudbury. Both of our kids are getting awards through the Rainbow District School Board for their First Nation Student Success Initiative, and both our kids are up for a couple of awards. So that's great. I'm excited, and we're going to see each other later on in the day. My son
laughed. He said, finally, you're doing something that doesn't involve hunting.
That's awesome.
But it's good, though.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure to meet you guys. You, Larry, Tammy, Greta. I mean, just fantastic people. I can't wait to get back up into your territory again.
And we're going to drag Diane next year.
And Diane's coming for sure. We
already got a gag going on. We're going to set up a little shabby shack for her.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, this is where you're sleeping. Neil gets the big trailer out front, but you're sleeping there. Yeah.
With a little sign, Diane's cabin.
Diane's camp. Awesome. Remember, folks, to fuel your passion and fuel the fire, you got to get outdoors.
Get outdoors.